race fans, and welcome here. It is championship race weekend here for all three of your series: Hersheys Cup Series non-charter, Pizza Hut X Series, and Hersheys Cup Series main event. We kick things off here with the non-charter series, 25th race of the season. We will not only crown ourselves a champion here in the non-charter series, but also find out who will be the 5 drivers that will move up to the Hersheys Cup Series in Season 5 as a chartered ride. The points are so close coming into this one. I thought that we would end up having it be kind of spaced out after last week at Talladega, but no sirree. They are still as close as ever, and it's going to be a very interesting battle down to the end. So much so, I'm not even sure I myself, calculating in my head, am going to be able to figure out who are going to be the 5 drivers to take the charters until I end up seeing the point standings officially for myself. So that is just how close it is, as we are going to get set to cap off what's been an unbelievable season here for these drivers. They started out in a journey, started out with a dream to be able to head into Season 5 as a chartered ride. For 5 of those drivers, that journey will be coming to a very good end. Coming in today's race, one driver comes in worry-free. You heard me right. Daniel Olson has officially locked up a charter for next season in the Hersheys Cup Series. Why? He comes into this race 42 points ahead of second in the standings. The most you can get in a race like this is 49 points. That's 47 points for a win, and then an extra bonus point for leading the lap, extra bonus point for leading the most laps. There is no way he can fall outside of the top 5 in the points, because fifth in the standings is 56 points back. So Daniel Olson, regardless of what happens today, he will get himself the charter. He might also get himself the championship, but that all depends on 2 drivers, Daniel Gilbert and Quentin Moore. They are second and third in points, 42 points back. They need to win this race, and they need for Daniel Olson to finish dead last.
Drivers, start your engines!
They also come into this race 17 points ahead of, 14 points ahead of that cut line. Seth Cole is 4th in points. He is only 8 points ahead of the cut line, and in that critical 5th position in the standings is Jonathan Zorlin in the 93. He's going to have all these drivers gunning for him here today, including 6th in points K Shearer, 3 points back from that cut line. Caleb Farrell is 7th. He is 5 points back. Both a total of 8 points back. 12 points back, let's make that. David Culpepper and Cole Deaver, and Steven Gonzalez is 10th in points. He is a total of 9 points back. And the other 2 that I mentioned there, Deaver and Culpepper, they're 8 points back. So it's less than 10 points separating 5th through 10th in the standings. Green flag out, 30 laps of racing with Charles Jackson and B Tellier on the front row, both looking for their first non-charter series win of the season. Of course, Jackson winning the charter series race at Richmond, but he hasn't won the non-charter series yet, and we almost had a wreck at the front as Nova dives low 3 wide. It was 4 wide with Noah Cars in the middle, and this is what you're going to see all the way through the field. This track can hold them 3 wide, sometimes 4 wide, and they will utilize it to their benefit. Some other drivers that are still in the hunt to be able to get up there for a charter spot in the top 5 as well include Sean Henley, Stephen Pollard III, Alex Gray, Chelsea Bowles, and DJ Curtis. Matt McIntire is the long shot driver. He is a total of 32 points out of 5th place. Here's some scraping there. Nova was up in the wall, and I think we got a problem for one driver. That's Tyler Deaver, just now coming back onto the racetrack. Highest driver of the drivers competing for being in the top 5 in points is Seth Cole there, that number 79. Cole Deaver right there, one of the long shot drivers, comes into this race 9th in points. 8 points behind that 8th in the standings cut line, and we'll be keeping an eye on Jonathan Zorlin during the day to see where he's situated, because he comes in that critical position of points, and right now it looks like he's at the back of the pack, but the caution is out, so... Oh, and there's another wreck. Oh, we got 2 wrecks. Oh boy, a wreck that brought out the caution, and there's Alex Miller up and into the fence. But he wasn't the reason for the caution. It looks like maybe Matt McIntire and Zachary Stultz were the reason for the yellow flag. So lap number 2 is when the caution comes out, and we had a follow-up wreck after that. Noah Carr's out in front. So he'll lead us under the yellow, and more than likely these drivers will have to pit, so the front might look a little shuffled up when we come back, but for now we're going to take a look at the replay of what brought out the caution, as well as the follow-up wreck that took place one lap later under the yellow flag. This was going into turn 1. That green car on the bottom is Trace Williams, Angel Navarro there, and it looks like, oh, actually, I think the car that we saw spun out the lap later, Alex Miller, was the cause of the wreck. He kind of crowded Zachary Stultz up into Matt McIntire, and I'll tell you, someone who just narrowly avoided was the 89 of Quentin Moore, who came into this race second in the point standings, tied for second. That could have been detrimental to his hopes of getting in and getting a charter. And Matt McIntire, who was the long shot driver, still mathematically eligible to get into the top 5, getting involved in this one. I don't know if he got a whole lot of damage, but I think he might be able to continue. But he was the reason for the caution coming out, along with Zachary Stultz, 2-time winner this season. Let's now see what happened to Alex Miller the following lap. So the yellow has already been waved as they crossed the line, and some people might call this karma. Alex Miller was the one that kind of triggered that wreck to bring out the yellow, and then almost up here in the exact same spot, he's going to crowd Alex Gray in the 0, and then he's going to go up and spin around, and another hit there from Alex Gray has him facing the wrong way, right in front of last week's winner, N Guenther, and James Richardson going to get a slight piece there with the left front on his Advocare Dodge Dart. But everybody else going to get to the inside. Ooh, a near miss there for K Shearer. Now, the one driver I would question about damage is Alex Gray, 13th in the points. He came into this race 22 points back from 5th in the standings. That damage, unless they're able to get a repair, that could be a little bit of a problem for him trying to get up there and get himself a charter for next season. So we'll see what the case is, but we're under caution for the first time today, and we're getting ready to turn them loose back green once again. Green flag will come back out on lap 7 of 30. As Noah Carr's will get us back to green, he will have a lap machine to the inside. Tyler Deaver lost a lap after having to come to pit road before the green came out. So Tyler Deaver will restart in the 41st position, and we do have one driver out of the race. The last driver to come in mathematically eligible to get into the top 5 in the points today, Matt McIntire, will end the day tire issue for the 26. So 41 cars still running, 40 of them on the lead lap. Your top 10 as we go back to green, it's Noah Carr's in the lead, Henry Nova second, Seth Cole right there in third. Fourth is B Tellier with J Cittadino in fifth, and it's Jackson, Chloe Ericsson, Chelsea Bowles, Cole Deaver, and Paul Minnick. Jonathan Zorlin, who came in that critical 5th position in the points, he is back in 38th place. Daniel Gilbert, who came in tied for second with Quentin Moore, he's 13th. Moore is going to restart 24th. I mentioned Seth Cole in third. How about K Shearer? He's going to restart 34th. That's 6th in points. Caleb Farrell 7th in points, restarts in 18th. David Culpepper 8th in the standings, restarted in 26th. Cole Deaver up here in the top 10, restarted in 9th. He was 9th in points, and Stephen Gonzalez 10th in points, restarted in 12th. Wide perhaps, B Tellier trying to use Tyler Deaver as a pick on the bottom, and she will go to the point. Lincoln still looking for their first Hersheys Cup Series win, whether it be a charter race or a non-charter race. B Tellier trying to do it today, and they're 4 wide. Here comes Cole Deaver, 4 wide with Chelsea Bowles. Stephen Gonzalez also making a move there on Tweenix Racing teammate Sean Henley. You can see how this track into the corner, the inside line is the best line, but off the corner, that outside line gets a really good run. And B Tellier able to get a nice slide job there off of turn number 2 to move up to the high line, take the race lead. Cole Deaver now there into second. We'll see Cole Deaver here tomorrow with a championship on the line in the Pizza Hut X Series. Getting himself some valuable experience in this one. As a matter of fact, I think it's only two. Yeah, two of the drivers that are battling for the Pizza Hut X Series Championship tomorrow are in this field. Cole Deaver in the 66 and J Gilbert in the 8. They'll take on Charlie Buxton and Jesse Turner tomorrow. Gonzalez to the inside on Cole Deaver. Gonzalez came into this race 10th in the point standings, and his teammate Sean Henley 11th in points. Those two trying to get themselves up there to get into the top 5 in the point standings, but both of them are going to lose out to Angel Navarro, who's in the top spot. Navarro announcing that he will be running full-time in the upcoming Tax Slayer Truck Series next season, the debut season of that series. They're 3 wide, 3 rows deep, make it now, well, I thought it was going to be 4 rows deep, but like Carson Gum and Seth Cole are double wide instead, and they're going to go 4 wide. That's Chloe Ericsson to the bottom on Henley, Noah Cars, and Cole Deaver down the front straightaway. Angel Navarro has a 2nd place finish this season, finished runner-up, I think it was to Seth Cole back at, I want to say it was Hillside, I think. Pretty sure it was Hillside. Still looking for his first win of the season in the non-charter series. He's been strong last couple of weeks. He didn't have a great start to the season, but the finish has been pretty good. He was mired way down in the cellar of the points, and now he finds himself 33rd in the standings, which, you know, you might consider the cellar, but when you consider the fact he was like 40th, 41st for most weeks, that's quite a comeback, especially with only a handful of races left in the year. That battle for second, though, behind him is ferocious. Cole Deaver not giving up on the bottom. Steven Gonzalez not giving an inch on the top side. And both these drivers not only battling for a win here, but also battling to try and get themselves into the top 5 in the point standings. One driver we have not seen make an appearance up here at the front. He restarted back in, I think it was the 38th position when the green came out, and that was Jonathan Zorlin. There he is, way at the back here. Another couple of drivers back here as well. K Shearer, who came in just behind Zorlin, 3 points back in the standings. He's back here at the rear of the field. And I also saw David Culpepper there as well. That is 5th, 6th, and 8th in points, all near the rear of the field right now. SP3 had that tough break last week at Talladega. Dropped him 9 spots in the point standings, out of the top 5, all the way down to 12th. He's trying to make up ground. He's got a long ways to go. And here's the guy that comes in probably with less weight on his shoulder than anybody. Daniel Olson knows for certain he will have a charter next season. He will not drop out of the top 5 in points. And right now, he's just trying to have a consistent run so he can win the non-charter championship as well. Quentin Moore had that near miss. He's actually battling side by side with Daniel Moore, the driver he came in tied for second in the standings with. They are both right now scored in 19th and 20th. And with some drivers behind them and the points having even worse runs today, they might be in a pretty good position to get themselves top 5 to finish out the season. Seth Cole about to be put 3 wide by the car that he owns, the 8 of J Gilbert. Seth Cole there in the number 79, currently scored in 14th, so he's in a good spot of getting a charter for next year. He's in a 3 wide situation here, trying to get out of it. Lap car Tyler Deaver in the middle. And Seth Cole tried to get that run off turn 2, couldn't quite do it. Caleb Farrell there in the 95. This could be a guy that could sneak up into that top 5 with where he's running right now. Last time by scored in 7th, and he's running ahead of both K Shearer and Jonathan Zorlin. So Caleb Farrell could move up there into the top 5 for the standings with where he's at right now. But, you know, you've got Steven Gonzalez up here, you've got Sean Henley up here, Cole Deaver's up here, so it's not completely written in stone that Caleb Farrell is going to get one of those spots. Points just so close, and with them racing the way they are, we've only had one caution. They did come to pit road under that yellow, but I don't think they can make it on fuel. I think they're going to have to pit at least one more time. And we saw in last week's Hershey Cup Series charter race, that Talladega race weekend, how important green flag pit stops were. Charles Sanders, California native, in a couple of days will be trying to pick up the championship here at his home track in front of his home crowd. A Navarro, though, has not let anybody get by him. A couple of drivers have gotten to his back bumper. Stephen Gonzalez was close, and Cody Smart's hounding him right now, but nobody's really been able to make the move just yet. Well, Cody got a nice run there in turns 3 and 4, though. He might dip to the inside down the front straightaway. Nope, not quite going to be able to get there. And all of a sudden, Caleb Farrell is starting to fade from view. He was up as high as 7th. He's now dropped back to 10th, and he's losing more spots. Cole Deaver now sticking Stephen Gonzalez on the outside line. Cole Deaver, Stephen Gonzalez, and Sean Henley all up in this group, 9th, 10th, and 11th in the point standings. Those three separated by 8 points. Track position is so important for all those drivers. Right now, with what I'm seeing, based on where drivers are running, it's looking like, well, actually, I was going to say Daniel Gilbert, Quentin Moore look like they're in good spots, but Gilbert's now back to 21st, and where did Quentin Moore drop? Oh, there he is, 18th. Yeah, they are both right on borderline. They're kind of a question mark right now. At the moment, it looks like Daniel Olson and Seth Cole are definitely in good spots of making it into finishing in the top 5 of the standings. And I thought for a moment we were going to have pit stops. It sounded like everybody just kind of bailed out of the throttle there in turn 3. Maybe they're all saving some fuel to try and make it to the end. Seth Cole looks like he's in good shape. We know Daniel Olson's in good shape, but I don't know about Gilbert and Moore as opposed to where Deaver, Gonzalez, and Henley are running. Will still be close, I think, for at least maybe 3 spots in the point stand. Let's see if Zorland's made up any ground. No, he has dropped further back. He's now back here with Climber Tech Motorsports drivers Vernio and John Bunnell, or not John Bunnell, Christian Merrick Jr., I should say. K Shearer is back here as well, so both of them not having good runs here at Auto Club. They've got to be hoping that they can't make it on fuel and that pit stops might cycle things around to a little bit better position for them, but right now not good for the 93 and the 30. David Culpepper back here. Could be his charter hopes gone. Stephen Pollard III also at the rear here. That could be problems for him. And Daniel Gilbert losing positions he cannot afford to lose. Quentin Moore at the tail end of this group. Cole Deaver, Stephen Gonzalez, and Sean Henley, though, they have all been up inside the top 10 all day long, fighting, clawing, trying to get one of those spots. Caleb Farrell is now slotted into 10th, so he's in a good spot. It's going to be really close with Zorland, Gilbert, Quentin Moore, Farrell, Deaver, Gonzalez, and Henley. Those are the drivers, I think, that are going to really decide who's going to be in the top 5 when this race ends and who doesn't, and why not go 4 wide? Well, they were 4 wide. Henley kind of backed out of that. And now that brings Caleb Farrell up into this group as well. So Caleb Farrell looks like he's in a good position to move into the top 5 in the standings to complete out the season. So right now, as things stand, 3 drivers that look like for certain would make it into the top 5 potential results are Daniel Olson, Seth Cole, and Caleb Farrell. Although Seth Cole's kind of fallen into doubt now because he is dropped back outside the top 10. He's continuing to lose spots. He's back to 16th, and it looks like he's losing even more ground. Lost a spot to N Guenther, and now he's got Dougie Shears on his back bumper. And we just saw Zachary Stultz coming off pit road. We could have pit stops, and we are going to. Cody Smart's indicating he's coming to pit lane. Chloe Ericsson is in, along with Noah Carr, Stephen Gonzalez, Caleb Farrell, B Tellier, Seth Cole, Nick Guenther, Curtis, Cittadino, Quentin Moore, Olson. And I don't know. Yeah, he's coming in. I thought K Shearer had actually stayed out, but nope, he's coming to pit lane. He's just so far back you couldn't tell. Navarro still showing the way, though. His team going to have to nail this pit stop. Cole Deaver, Sean Henley, Henry Nova, and Elijah Gilbert all stayed out as well this lap. Dougie Shears also in the 21. They will probably be in this time. So pit stops happening between 6 and 7 laps to go. Daniel Gilbert there with Stephen Pollard III. I think they had already pitted. So let's follow the dominant car of the day, that KFC Toyota Camry of Angel Navarro out of Redragon Motorsports. They're going to go around, get the right sides. Looks like it'll be a 4-tire stop. Nope, just a 2-tire stop, which actually is not such a bad idea. That right front getting a lot of wear here at Auto Club, and they only have 5 laps to go when they hit the stripe next time by, so why not just go with 2 tires? But look at this, Sean Henley gonna try and battle with him off pit road, and who's gonna give an inch here? It's gonna have to be Henley. Henley gonna have to give way to Navarro. Look out, here comes some company through 1 and 2. That's Cody Smart and Chelsea Bowles trying to get by, and I think they might take the race lead. I think Cody Smart might get it. He will. So Cody Smart goes to the point. Chelsea Bowles will move into second. Navarro back to third with Henley and Gilbert there in 4th and 5th. Stephen Gonzalez in 6th, Farrell in 7th, 8th Dougie Shears, 9th Noah Carter, and Cole Deaver completing your top 10. And at the line, as Cody Smart crosses it, there are 5 laps to go here at Auto Club. Cody Smart looking for his 3rd win of the season. Chelsea Bowles looking for her 2nd. And is there enough time for Angel Navarro and company to catch back up and get back into the fight for this win? There's Tyler Deaver off the lead lap. He's going to come back onto the racetrack, and that might not be good for the guys 3rd on back. Depending on where he is, well, I guess they're not caught up to him yet. We're going to have to watch that gap. Last time by between Bowles and Navarro was about 1.5 seconds. Let's see if it closes up at all. A bigger group should be able to produce more speed than 2 cars here at Auto Club, and let's see, it actually grew by almost another 0.5 second. Chelsea Bowles all over the back bumper of Cody Smart for the race lead and potentially the race win. Neither of these drivers are in the hunt to be able to get into the top 5 in the point standings. Chelsea Bowles she's mathematically eligible, but with where some drivers are running right now, her chances look even slimmer. So both these drivers, technically I would say, are out of the hunt of getting into the top 5 in the points, but they both want to finish out the season with a victory. Stephen Gonzalez 3 wide back there with Caleb Farrell. Every position matters. John Henley right there as well. Elijah Gilbert, who finished runner-up last week to Nick Guenther at Dega, is now up into the podium spot of 3rd. Navarro, who had the strongest car today, he's back now in 4th, and they're both going to catch to Tyler Deaver, and that may rekindle that battle for the 3rd position. Meanwhile, Chelsea Bowles losing some contact with the 12 of Cody Smart. And it's 2 laps to go here at Auto Club. Daniel Olson is scored in 19th. I think that's going to be good enough for him to clinch the championship. He already came into this race already with a clinched spot for a charter next season in Hersheys Cup Series competition. Daniel Gilbert's in 20th. Quentin Moore is down in 26th. Seth Cole is in 22nd. And Jonathan Zorlin is all the way back in 35th. Boy, it is going to be so close for 2nd on down through 5th. White flag displayed, though, for Cody Smart looking to become the only 3-time winner here in the Hersheys Cup Series non-charter series. Daniel Gilbert, Seth Cole, Zachary Stultz, and Cody Smart all had 2 wins coming into this race, but nobody had yet had 3 wins. Cody Smart looking to be the first. Chelsea Bowles right there with him, but she just hasn't been able to get close enough to make a move, and then she's going to try here in 3 and 4, but not close enough to even get to the left rear quarter panel. Slides off the corner. Cody Smart pulls away, and Cody Smart will pick up his 3rd win of the season, closing out the year with a win at Auto Club. Wow, 3 wide crossing the line there, and here comes your champion, Daniel Olson. Champion in the non-charter series here in Hersheys Cup competition. And locks up a spot in the championship hunt. Well, locks up a spot, I should say, for a charter next season in Hersheys Cup Series competition. But I'm telling you what, I can't even look at this finishing results and tell you who the top 5 drivers are. I can tell you Daniel Olson, but aside from that, I have no idea. But Cody Smart, what a way to finish off the season. 3 wins in a non-charter series race. 3 wins in 25 races. That's almost 1 in 8 races. Chelsea Bowles brings it home in 2nd. Stephen Gonzalez, Sean Henley 3rd, 4th, with Caleb Farrell in 5th. Farrell may have been the closest one to be able to sneak in and grab a charter spot, but were Gonzalez and Henley's finishes good enough to get up there? I don't know. Carson Gumb's going to bring it home in 6th, Angel Navarro in 7th, so those 7 will take part in the Hersheys Cup Series season finale here in a couple of days. The rest of your top 10 were Dougie Shears, Elijah Gilbert, and there's Cole Deaver there in 10th. Was that finish good enough to get up into a charter spot? We'll have to wait and see. See down the rest of your finisher results. Daniel Olson brings it home in 20th to win the championship. And some of these drivers that I mentioned that it's kind of questionable of whether they still are going to be in the top 5 or not. Daniel Gilbert, 23rd. Seth Cole, 24th. Quentin Moore, 25th. They all came into this race inside the top 5 in the point standings. Will they leave Auto Club as such? I do not know. And then Jonathan Zorlin came in that critical 5th in points. 35th is where he finishes out today's race. We had 38 cars finish on the lead lap of 40 cars that were still running. Tyler Deaver and Zachary Stultz both a lap down, and 2 drivers out of the race due to tire issues. Chris Dollerton 39th and Matt McIntire there in 42nd. But folks, we know a couple things. One thing we know is Daniel Olson is the non-charter series champion. We also know that Daniel Olson has locked himself up a spot for a charter next season in Season 5 of the Hersheys Cup Series. But what we do not know is who the other 4 drivers are that are getting those charters as well. Is it Daniel Gilbert? Is it Seth Cole? Is it Caleb Farrell, Sean Henley, Stephen Gonzalez, Quentin Moore? I don't know. I do not know, and I will not know until I calculate up the points. You guys are going to get to find out in the next upcoming seconds, so lucky you. Thank you all, though, for watching today's race here, the season finale of our Hersheys Cup Series non-charter series. It will not be back next season. We've got 3 series next season with the Tax Slayer Truck Series, the Pizza Hut X Series 3rd season, and the Hersheys Cup Series 5th season. There will not be any non-charter rise for Hersheys Cup next year. So thank you all for tuning into this season. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to Compare with the Crew. Today we've shown your full finish results, and you are now seeing the point standings to finish out the season and who the 5 drivers are that are getting charters next year. It'll be interesting to see what teams they go to for Hersheys Cup Series competition as well. Up next this weekend, folks, we've got 4 drivers battling for the Pizza Hut X Series Championship. That takes place tomorrow, and then the following day, our 4th Hersheys Cup Series champion will be crowned as the Hersheys Cup Series caps off their season here at Auto Club as well in Championship Race Weekend. We will see you guys next time as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.